Mark the Movie Man here, Madison Horror Film Festival, and I'm here with Derrick Carey, editor, filmmaker, just man of all trades. Now, let's start off with the film that's tonight, Swamphead. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it and like how long it took and everything, because you got an interesting story with it, I think.
Swamphead is a film made by Justin Propp and Dustin Drover over the course of 6 years. 4 years principal photography, a year and a half of pickup shoots, and a year in the mix of that of editorial. What the film is basically a Monster on the Loose film where a local diver at a local lake, there's no swamp, sorry to break all of your hearts, we're fooling you. There's a lake where a local diver finds an ancient relic, which is a knife, and he takes it home with him, and he resurrects a zombie head of an old Viking warrior who decides to come out and destroy anybody that happens to have the knife, because that's how he was killed. The head flies around and eats people. It's a rubber head flying around on a string, like the old 50s monster movies back in the day. The movie's always just about energy and laughs.
Awesome. Now, you also worked on Screaming in High Heels, and that came out recently on DVD. How's that doing?
Screaming in High Heels has gotten a lot of press. We've been very happy with it. Obviously, I mean, it's about three major scream queens of the 80s and the 90s, Brinke Stevens, Linnea Quigley, and Michelle Bauer. And so it has an audience for it already. Anybody that grew up in the VHS boom, that time myself, and anyone around our age, obviously have interest in this kind of movie, and it's a lot of fun. Jason and I put it together with the expressed interest of reintroducing these ladies to a new demographic of people, like the young kids now that have no idea about any of this, because you and I grew up in a time where we would go to video stores and there would be just a plethora of just movies you had never heard of because they were shot and pushed out to the video stores, the mom and pop stores, for the expressed interest of, here's Flash, here's a monster and a hot chick on the front, and I'm a teenage boy, I'm gonna grab that stuff. But yeah, the film's a lot of fun. We used a lot of clips. It's high energy, and it's been getting a lot of press, and people seem to like it because there's a lot of people around our age right now that are loving these documentaries that are coming out. And it got picked up by NBC Universal, their Chiller TV, and it's been playing there since April. And it just came out through Breaking Glass Pictures on DVD for national and international distribution.
Awesome. And now you've got something in the hopper, too, working on. I saw the trailer for it, Safe Inside. Why don't you say a little bit about that?
Yep. Jason Paul Collum, who's also the writer and director of Screaming in High Heels, him and I made this film in June called Safe Inside, which is kind of an ode to the 70s When a Stranger Calls type film, Eyes of Laura Mars types, kind of a psychological thriller about a gentleman who believes that there's something inside of his house that's trying to kill him. Chris Harder plays that character, and we also have Brinke Stevens and Judith O'Dea, Barbara from the original Night of the Living Dead, plays his mother in the film. Right now we're at Rough Cut, and we're hoping to have this done by the beginning of the year.
Awesome. Now, you're editor by trade. You do a lot of things. I mean, coloring, you did it for Dead Weight. Why don't you tell a little bit what you enjoy about editing the most?
Editing to me is like putting a puzzle together, and I like the creative process of taking all of these disconnected pieces and putting them together and making something that's watchable, that an audience will react from. Because footage itself, as all filmmakers know, the films are made in 3 steps. The film's made 3 times: when you write it, when you shoot it, and in post. And then sometimes, in the case of the kind of movies we make, mostly in post. So to me, it's just I was inspired to become an editor from George Romero, and there was a documentary that came out because of Dawn of the Dead called Document of the Dead, and there was a section in there where they broke down his movie Martin, and the first scene of Martin, where they kind of showed how they broke down all the coverage that he had shot, which he shoots an ass. At least at that time, he shot a ton of footage in order to make this one cat and mouse scene, and how he put that together in post. And from that, and that was at an early age, it really sparked an interest in me. And I've always just loved the creative angle of being able to put that together and have people react. So editing to me is really, really fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time, Derrick. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
You bet.
Thank you.